This episode is brought to you by the feature film Wall of Flesh, a vintage comedy, streaming now on Amazon. As we begin, I've received, you see, Dr. Willis, as we start this episode of Two Guys Talking, every morning, Tim sends a different nude to a group text exchange. And I actually thought this morning that I hadn't gotten it, and I was like, "Where is it?" I had like Pavlov's dog, right? And I mean, don't text me 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock. There's only a few people on the planet who can text me in the morning. I don't care. But every morning around 7, 8, 8:30, I get a different, a very graphic nude. Now, you know those websites who goes on websites where they're just still frame pictures? It's Timmy. Timmy is living his best life in 1998.
Awesome.
Anyways, this is another episode of Two Guys Talking. I'm Brian Sturges. You can follow me at Brian Sturges, and my co-host is...
I'm Josh Willis, and you can follow me at Josh K. Willis on Instagram and Twitter, or you can find me as Climate Elvis on the Facebook.
Oh, the Climate Elvis. Yes.
Yes.
Now, I did want to talk to you about a couple of things this week. First off, it doesn't appear to me that you're social distancing.
Well, all of my disco minions down here have been tested.
I don't think you can say that anymore. It's kind of a...
No? Yeah. Disco minions?
The minions have come together as a group of like-minded individuals.
Man, I just woke up this morning and I felt like, I felt like disco.
Oh man, I love that, man. I got to tell you, I love your shirt. Can I just tell
you?
Thank you. It's a very like Ricky, like Lucy, where you're doing a show and she's nagging at you about her one chocolate factory. God forbid she can hold down a job. You know, that guy's out there busting his balls playing congos to provide for Lucy. And when given the opportunity to bring income into the home, she's just stuffing chocolates. All right. There's a reason it didn't work out. At the end of the day, they divorced. So let the record show. That love is
I tried to go back to the 70s, and you took me all the way back to the 50s.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have an old 8mm of Chuck Berry urinating on a preteen girl. If that's popular, that's my collection. But you seem like, you're having a... It kind of seems like you found drugs, quite frankly. Did you find an old... Yeah.
I just found this shirt. That was it. It was the shirt.
You got some puffy sleeves.
I got some puffy sleeves. Yeah.
I'm imagining that your cologne smells of a rich Corinthian leather.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, you smell like you look like you smell of Paco Vuitton. You smell like Paco Louis Vuitton. Louis Luton Vuitton.
The only thing I'm missing is the gold chain, my friend.
Oh, I have a.
As collection.
As a part-time Italian, I have various pinky rings, necklaces, bracelets.
Bring them over, man. Come on.
Anytime.
Party's just getting started.
You also look like a man who's covering like a nipple piercing. Like you don't want us. And it's something that you find out with around 2:30 in the morning when you're on act because you've gone to the club, you've gone back to your place. Things happen. You've opened a bottle of Beaujolais. And, you look like perhaps you might be governor of New York with your nips.
I love the Beaujolais.
Do you like a nice Beaujolais? You look
like a nice Beaujolais.
You look like you are just priming to sexually assault a woman.
Now that's not nice.
It's like, I agree. I'm anti, isn't that dating? But it doesn't matter. We're moving on. We're moving on. Not societal norms. We're living in a construct that it doesn't matter. due to violence increasing. Seriously, are you on some sort of opiate?
No. It's just the shirt. It's just the shirt. It's actually
shirt.
It's just the shirt too. Like the pants. Well, I'm wearing I'm wearing pajama bottoms.
I'm wearing Tracksuit Friday. To be honest with you, I have pants on all week, and I tried.
They don't go anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I'm basically on the precipice of an extra large. Like I can no longer, like if I was to try these clothes on now, I wouldn't buy them. But when I purchased,
you'd be like, this is pulling. I'm not going to be comfortable in it.
Whatever, and I was doing so well. I was on a diet. My brother bought me a scale, which is what we call irony. Is that it? Is that the word? And I got not fat, and then here we are, living our best life, and I'm living it like it's golden, as Jill Scott would say. So remember that time you were in Belgium and you met those two 13-year-old twins at a club, and you were like, "Don't say nothing. I work for NASA." Do you remember that? And you were like, "Don't tell my wife. Don't ever bring it up on a podcast in the future about that."
No, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah,
I disavow all knowledge of any such events or activities or statements made by me or any persons associated with me having to do with that incident.
I do not recall, Your Honor.
I'm just saying. I want to talk more about my pajama bottoms. I don't know if I can get them up here.
Well,
let's see.
Oh, yeah, those look like those just like $9.99 Ross Gray.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You really committed to the part there. So
I did.
You're basically like, you're the guy. Actually, after you sexually assaulted the women, you woke up and you made yourself some coffee. You're eating their food. Like what your thing is, you go back to their place, right? Because you don't leave fingerprints because you got gloves. Your wife's a doctor. So you have your kill kit in your 86 Volvo, which is a car that no one knows you have, that you have registered in your dead cousin's name, so that if anybody sees the car, they won't know it goes to you.
That's right, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not telling stories out of the school here, am I?
It's disco on the top and disappointment on the bottom.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I have that, but with bald. I saw, I had an audition back when Life Mattered. And I got to see an ad to add insult to injury. I'm seeing the ad targeted to me of the guy who got the part. And that's not the first time it's happened. So any sort of like bald guy head shaving product, I get called in, right? And then of course I see the ad because they're targeting to me. And then I'm watching a guy who's living the dream. I drove to Hollywood. I parked my car. But he did have they went with a shaved head and a big old beard.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So they went for like the, not the,
like the biker meth version of you.
Yeah. They went with they went with a man who was down to here, so I was okay with it. Just like I was once for the Ninja Bullet. If you remember, do you remember when I was up for the Ninja Bullet and then I didn't get it, and then they went with a very effeminate man who just kind of Ninja Bullet. So,
you can't be angry about the bullet,
Yeah, you Ninja Bullet. You wake up, life's awful. Have a smoothie, whatever. Like,
right.
They really need a channel for men where it's just men like real men, not like improvisers in LA who can't figure out why they're so poor. I mean, you've committed a life to where like a dancer's career looks promising. So if you've committed your life to something that makes you no money and you're out of money now, well,
congratulations.
I mean, I do have a bachelor's of music, and it's a BM.
A BM.
That's what we call it. Yeah.
Well, we all wish we could have a BM.
Well, you're drinking your coffee, which leads me to believe you haven't yet.
Oh,
have you? Have you? You've Mr. Tanaka it this morning already?
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you think made me put on disco shirt?
But what that says to me is that you haven't showered. This is the sick part because you went straight to because you're still in pajama pants. Because once we all know, you know what, we'll stop there. But it's a good thing you're married.
Pajama bottoms have many uses, but they're always disappointing to everyone except the person wearing them.
Well, answer the stripper. Well, when you go to a strip club, I don't want to put your stuff down. You keep asking to borrow my tracksuits, but I don't want spillage. So you've been going to Ross and you've been purchasing a polyester blend of $9 pants, in which a young woman paying her way through a forensic odontology school will grind her sweet, barely legal body against yours for these dollars in which you have,
Just.
I once went to a strip club when the gold Sacagawea coins first came out. Right?
Did you?
Yeah. So I went actually with a bunch of lesbians. I was the guy they brought to somehow make it be like, you love strip clubs, right? And I was like, I guess. They're like, let's go. And we're to bring you. Well, because we're not really out yet, but we play softball every Sunday with our thick calves. So,
I ever tell you? Go ahead.
Okay, I'll make this one quick. So basically, when I was there, I had this big satchel of coins, right? So I started sliding the coins over on the stripper floor, and they got mad at me. They were like, "How dare you give us coins?" And I said, "No." And then somebody came over. They're like, "What are these things you're throwing?" I'm like, "They're the new coins. They're gold coin, but they're $1." And the Sacagawea, like the Land O'Lakes lady that they're taking off the box. Right? So they went from offended to really? And then all of a sudden, without a lie, within 5 minutes, all of the strippers were lined up because they wanted to bring them home for their sons. And they're like, they were all like, "Oh, my kid would love to have like a gold coin." So I just basically
with a strong female role model on it.
Oh yeah. Well, she's bringing home the gold coin. She's bringing home the bullion. It's pretty good. So that's for chicken, right? It's a chicken-based gold soup. So it became a thing, and then they all just lined up, and we just talked, and it was a great night because they were like, "Oh, it's great. You bring $2 note to dirty men. Bring a stack of $2 bills to a strip club." And they will all be like, "Can I trade some for my son?" Because they all have, you'll see them, because they'll come into the light and you'll see the marks of which their youth was once stretched out. And they'll ask for these little coins. That's my story. Wonderful girls. Hi, Tina. Route 9 in Latham. Tell us your story now.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I broke up my friend's marriage?
Oh, I would like to hear this.
It involved strippers in Tijuana.
You know what?
And, dollar bills.
I vaguely remember, but I think I don't know the high points. So go ahead and give us the.
Well,
break.
I had a friend in graduate school who was getting married, and he had gone around. He had told all of us this story about when he was like 18 and when he was in Tijuana, and all of our friends knew the story, except his fiance.
Yeah, generally that's how you want to keep it. Yeah,
yeah, right. Yeah. And so. He and his fiance were over at my house one night, and I said, Steve, by the way, I've been meaning to give you this $1 bill with the corner torn off of it, so you can go down to Tijuana and make amends someday." And his fiance was like, what is this? What are you talking about?
Always with the yucks.
So the story was that basically I made him tell the story to his fiance, which I'm convinced contributed to their eventual divorce. But basically he went down to Tijuana with his buddies, and it was Christmas or Christmas Eve, and they had spent all their money buying Christmas gifts for everybody. So they say.
Yeah. Math. Discount
right.
Math.
He went to they went to a strip club, of course. It was Christmas Eve, and there was just like one girl working, and she was dancing, and he reached down into his pocket and he pulled out this corner of $1 bill. It was just the corner that had like torn off in his pocket. And so he kind of rolled it up and he waved it around, and the girl came over to dance for the dollar, and she took the dollar and saw that it was just the corner, and she kicked him in the head with her high heel. So
they all take a class at the Stripper Academy on how to kick a man.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, in a moment of friendship, you were given an opportunity to discuss how valuable he is to you. And you just said, he fucks hoes. And
I said no such thing. I didn't say that.
Basically, you ratted out. That's pretty bad. You should.
I know. Yeah.
Ratted him out. And,
I think it's
another about the women you sleep with that your wife doesn't know about. But what's cool is you have money, so you have like hush money. You know what I mean? Like you're like, what's his name there? You're like Bernanke when you come out in your blue turtleneck, and you're like, it's all good. I'm gonna go kill myself and my son. No, his son hung himself. Fun story.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Why would you bring that up right now?
I don't know. Well, I thought strippers that were dancing for torn dollars seemed like an appropriate strippers jail. They all end up recidivists. Yeah. I like to say that at least one time on episode. Hot recidivists, though. That's the name of my new show on Fox. Hot recidivist. What we do is we take, like, you know how that guy had like the handsome mugshot? Where we take all like hot girls that are like criminals and we have them like wrestle for scholarship opportunities. Jello. You know what sponsor? I don't care if it could be Jello. You put the lady in it could be tapioca.
No, not yeah.
I got a tapioca pudding guy if you ever need one, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need a large quantity of tapioca.
I can get it to you. I can get it to you surprisingly quick. I can get you questionable firearms, drug paraphernalia, and some of the best tapioca pudding you have ever had in your life. Now, some people don't like the raisins. Now, if you're not a raisin person, you're going to have to pick them out yourself. Okay, it's going to cost you extra. They're just tiny grapes,
Not fun to wrestle in, though, I imagine.
Let's talk about the branding of raisins, where they're like cool black guys who played saxophone. Remember that? They're like, aren't you just shriveled up like Greek guys that are just like burned from the sun? Right? So like, how did a Greek guy become a cool black jazz player? You don't want to answer that because
no, I can't answer that.
Oh, by the way, we have our meeting. Of white men will be this Tuesday at 8 p.m. We're having it. We're having it at the Friendlies over in Dover, New Jersey. It's great. They don't think like we all get a happy Sunday, and except the cone at the end is white. So it has a kind of a white point with a couple of eyes. It's vanilla only. Anyways, Friendlies is a great. That was one of my first jobs.
Really?
I was a
KKK or
no. That's more of a volunteer. That's
okay. All right.
You have to give back to the community, which is Culver City. I just Culver City started as a town for white people only, and the Ku Klux Klan was quite prevalent during.
Really?
And the advertisement was for white people only of Culver City when it was developed.
Wow.
And so I actually just there's kind of a picture that I lost out on the eBay of the original drawing of the town, which was of course just barley fields if you're Culver City people, and they put out where it's just an arrow and it points to where all the things were going to be, like his house. The guy just started a town, and this guy was just like, I want to start a town of white people only that could be great. Wow. And in fact, it worked out quite well because Culver City is what the Wonder Years was filmed in and based off of this kind of white. It was all filmed in Culver City. That's the whole guy grew up in Culver City. That was his whole thing.
Wow.
Then Rocco's from Chicago moved in. And fine pizza.
The place was never quite.
Is that what you call it? Rocco's? No, that's not. Rush Street. That's what it was. Rush Street. Yeah. It's any movie where Steve Harvey, any location in which a Steve Harvey movie was filmed is, of course, questionable.
There was a Steve Harvey. Okay, I'll bite. There was a Steve Harvey movie filmed at Rush Street.
It was Think Like a Man when he came out with the book and he had the movie, and they made two of them actually.
What? Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, it's a black movie, so you know, I don't think it didn't come up in the meetings
sounds a little
Tuesday.
and a little misogynistic, maybe. You know, there might be a little.
Well, no, it was how to think like a man. It was for the women to learn how a man thinks, so that they can be disappointed long term.
Right.
Really drag it out.
Fascinating.
So it was filmed. So you can see it. I'm sure it's on the. But it was all filmed
like a man.
So all the exterior shots, all that stuff it was all filmed right in Sony when I lived in Culver City before the exile to Main Street.
Yeah. How's it going out there in Exile Land?
It's going well. I feel like I have a little bit of. Hold on, I'm leaving the screen.
Now, this looks like the Fortress of Solitude in the background.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that a Superman reference?
It's kind of a dream. It's kind of like wishful thinking that someday I'll be able to have a Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, I see. You've thrown your green crystal into the icy Arctic and
no copyright infringement.
Up popped a fortress of giant crystals.
Meth? Yes.
Sealing you off from the rest of the world.
If you're looking for meth in the Culver City or Exile on Main Street section of, listen, Tuesdays, by the way, it's my night to bring the snacks. So we got to get there early. Okay. And if one son of a bitch brings another Costco turkey and cheese roll, I'm going to flip my shit. God, why do we pay such heavy dues every year? And then we get these Costco sandwiches. I can get those at Costco. But we are taking new members.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you have to know the secret handshake, which is just a regular handshake. It has no jive in the handshake whatsoever. If you try to jive,
are you still doing the handshakes during the crisis, or
Well, the Japanese win again. You know what I mean?
No, I don't even.
Well, they don't worry about handshake. It's almost like they figured out to not shake hands.
I see.
Right? They can
right.
successfully have an interaction without having to touch another man's dirty, unwashed LAX urinal hands, which I see all day. 4 out of 5 men don't wash their hands when they leave the bathroom. I'm going to be honest.
Wow.
Do you wash your hands?
Of course I wash my hands.
Do you
I always wash my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your hand washing. How do you do it?
Well,
which hand do you start with first?
It takes about 20 seconds. You got to let the soap get to work. You rinse them in.
Is it the soap or is it the hot water?
It's the soap. It's the soap. It's the soap and the hot water. It's both. You need some soap. You need some hot water. Yeah. The virus is in fact covered in a lipid layer, which
wonderful,
dissolved by soap. Yeah.
Throw it in the harbor. Am I right? Too soon.
So, there you go. Hand washing.
What's a liptoid?
a lipid.
A lipid.
Is just a fat. It's just oil or lipids. Yeah.
That I got some extra lipids lately. I got some quarantine lipids.
Yeah, we're all dealing with the quarantine lipids. That's why I'm trying to dance it off here.
Have you gotten fat at all? Have you gotten any sort of increase? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I stopped getting on the scale like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why punish yourself?
Why is my scale made out of glass? I'll never know. It just seemed, do you remember in the 50s when you just buy a scale and it would last you 150, 200 years?
Yeah, right. Yeah, had a big spring in it, you know.
My brother wanted to test the weight of the garage door. So I went up to my mother's bathroom, takes the glass scale. My mother says, "Don't take the scale out of the house. You're going to break it." "I'm not going to break it, Ma." He broke it. He immediately, the door smashed up onto it. And then he had to use my Amazon Prime account to replace it. Another successful interaction. He wanted to know what.
So he tried to use a bathroom scale to weigh a garage door. Was the garage door installed at the time, or was it?
Well, I think it was. He had to get the springs, or I don't know what. He's like setting the. You know, you got a lot of time. You do things. You know, when you do things too right, where you just. Yeah. But we know
he's the Michelangelo of garage.
He's the Michelangelo of garage door repair. Oh man, I got into it. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You know what I realize is every Christmas dinner is like the Last Supper and everyone is Judas. You know what I mean? Like it's Judas and he brought like a bunch of friends you don't know over for dinner. And they just shit on you, and you're just like, this is the last.
You get a betrayal, and you get a betrayal.
Yeah. Oprah wasn't giving out a bunch of betrayals back then. I can tell you then. You know. But yeah, every holiday dinner is you've never seen. You ever look around a table? They're an interesting crew of people, and I you know, when like, this is not them, but we're going to take another example. But let's say you grew up and you're all a bunch of like yokels. You're all a bunch of hillbilly nobodies, right?
Okay.
And then you move, and one moves to Manhattan, and you work successfully as Don Draper in the advertising community while cheating on your wife and living under a presumed name. An assumed name? Presumed? It's both, quite frankly. Let's be honest. So, I forgot. Where was I going with that? Part of the tradition.
The hillbilly family.
Hillbilly. Yeah. So so then you go then you go to the dinner wearing like a clean white shirt, and somehow you're the asshole. You know what I mean? Like the fact that I'm wearing a shirt that isn't like torn and tattered and obviously washed. I'm somehow the less than for wearing a clean shirt at the
time. You think you're better than everybody, you know? When you come off wearing
it's just a clean shirt. I'm buying the shirts the same place you're buying those pants. I'm not going to Thomas Pink and getting some custom, you know. I'm not going to Truman Haberdasher's Inc., right? It's historically accurate. you know, shitty president, hell of a haberdasher, right? But that's what it's like, and it's not that I feel better than they are, but it's just that when you know you're better than they are, but they still shit on you, right? Like, and you're sitting there and you're getting shit on by people who can barely function in society, and they're all the Michelangelos of their dicks, right? And then you never seen. Let's put it this way. It's going to be like Ford's first quarter earnings. Hey, stock joke. Went down faster than you. Nope. The rate. Now, I've also been drinking a little bit.
Have you? Already today, or just in general?
Well, yes, I had some today, but it was earlier.
It was early.
I mean, I did have two solid ones this morning around earlier. Well, later today if you were on Italian time. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I was just finishing off what was left. It was just like, when you don't want to put away leftovers and you're just like, I'm just going to eat last couple bites. So it wasn't enough to save, to enjoy. So I just woke up and just drank it.
No, I tell you what I did the other day. I poured out some vodka. I poured it out. I poured it down the sink.
Oh my God.
It was near the end of the bottle. And I thought, I'm just going to pour it in. And I poured it all in. And it was too much. And I had to pour a little out. I had to pour a little down the sink.
I don't know. I don't even know you anymore, man. I got to tell you. I don't even know who you are. Who are?
I'm glad I did. I woke up this morning and I felt okay, not great, but
Yeah. Yeah. How come we're not drinking on this show right now?
I don't know. I do have another meeting later in the day that would potentially be
I forget that you
potentially be
they're still worried about that shit. Goddamn world's ending. You're worried about fucking dripping water? Come on, priorities. Man, you got the best job in the world, don't you? You're just like, meanwhile, people are struggling to like work at Friendly's,
I know.
You're like, I'm gonna go to Greenland. Look, I'm gonna basically you're gonna go to the Fortress of Solitude and be like, the Fortress of Solitude used to be here 400 years ago, and now it's here.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's spend $80 billion of our tax money so that when it gets to here, we'll have been dead for hundreds of years, but we'll have made it impact.
You don't want to you don't want to melt the fortresses. No, we don't really want to melt the Fortress of Solitude.
So this is what people don't understand. Taking down old buildings means new business. Okay, you know what I mean? Let's tear the shit down. Build some.
Melt down the Fortress of Solitude and build a Denny's or
you melt it down. You make a multi-use property, right? You have maybe like a Chili's to go on the bottom, and then you have your house on top. Right, it always smells like a blooming onion. That's the same company, right? I think it's a great. See, actually, isn't water that's the most recycled thing in the world, right?
Well, that's
think about it. Yeah. It's all wet.
A big part. A big part of you is water.
Well, 70%, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, right. 10% Zeppeli and 20% Scotch right now. Whatever. I bought a bottle I was drinking vodka and cranberry like a sorority girl. And then I started doing all these shows where I was just drinking this little drink and feeling judged because, they assume a man can't enjoy a little vodka cranberry.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I enjoy a little vodka cranberry.
Yeah, a little vodka cranberry, vodka screwdriver. And then I said, you want to know what? Treat yourself to a bottle of Scotch. And so that you'll take your time and sip on it.
Yeah.
24 hours.
Did it help? How'd that work out for you?
It's empty.
It's empty. What kind of Scotch did you buy now? I'm curious.
I got Glenlivet.
Oh, a nice bottle.
Glenlivet. Your starter single malt. Well, I really thought I would sit. It went down easier than Tina in junior high. You know what I mean? Like,
she's a mom now.
I know. But her stretch marks are like a tree's rings.
Oh.
You can see how. That's the thing. It's tough owning a lighting emporium and strip clubs because you want to really give it a lot of lumens, but then you don't. I remember my buddy bought my associate. He bought a building to make into a strip club, and then through various envelope transactions, it never went through. So then he had to open an Italian restaurant. And then it was just like, whatever. So I used to go
pasta instead of
basically it was zoned whatever happened. It was like 3 feet away from a school, which is like, can we teach these women skills and trade? Can we skip? Let's just instead of like vocational schools, can we teach both men and women to just dance, to just successfully. The pole. Oh, you know who I haven't seen? We won't mention any names, but
well, how am I going to know who you haven't seen if you don't mention their name?
Well, who do we know who loves a pole, and she ain't Mrs. Claus? I'll put it that way. Maybe somebody who's a little butts. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now. maybe constantly crying on Instagram?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about? We're not mentioning names.
Yeah, well, I think I may. You know,
I feel like I'm at a family reunion. I'll have the gabagool. Did you say?
The gabagool.
The gabagool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
What were we saying? What was this very
You were saying you were not naming people that you haven't seen.
But I haven't seen
in a little while.
Well, basically, we have a mutual friend who, in another time, would have been, I guess, eliminated. Probably some sort of orphanage.
Wow. Oh man.
No, but in a time where you build a desk that lasts 100 years and you just, take care of the mentally ill. I mean, like I'm gonna say some things that maybe are unpopular, but North Korea. I mean, how many hobo shits do I need to walk over a day in the town before we're like, here's my thing. Now, this will ruin me from getting on SNL, I'm sure. But what if you just started collecting these people and demand that they work, or you shoot them in the head, and then if they say shoot them in the head, you shoot them in the head, and if they say we'll work, you shoot them in the head, and you say you should have been working all no.
Wow.
So not to mention
your Fourth Reich platform.
Yeah, well, it never talks about the first two. The third one got a bad rap. Rebranding, Reich 4.0, they got the haircut for it. But, I mean, if you're a sociopath, I don't have a problem with it. Just like, let's just wrap it up. Let's just go. Like, if the DNA has but not one of these things where you were wrongfully accused, which never really happened, let's be honest. But so you give them 3 strikes and you're out, and not out on my federal dime for the next years, eating 3 squares, watching Jenny Jones. I want it out. So we should hardcore labor. And by the way, several of your telemarketers who call you are from prison. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, it's one of the jobs you can get.
Okay.
So anytime you hear basically, you'll be able to tell if they're a criminal or not. That's all I want to say. That's
that's fascinating. You're a terrible person.
No, but I didn't put him to work. But basically, all these people that
I feel like I just have to say something. I mean,
all these people fake begging. Let's go ahead and say, let's scan them. Let's go ahead and start chipping those motherfuckers. It's going to happen anyway, right? You're so excited to have the iPhone X shoved up your ass with a tracking device. The greatest thing with these watches, it's just like, you know what? You can't even know what time it is without us knowing what time it is first, and then telling you. The
iWatch.
Yeah. Remember when you'd reach into your pocket of your jeans, which is what that little square pocket is for, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. The little one. Yeah. Right there.
That's your pocket watch holder, right?
Yeah.
It's where I keep my pocket watches.
Really?
Yes. As a horologist, I believe, which was not the class I thought I was signing up for. Very disappointed. I've learned to love some clocks.
Nice. They have a certain mechanical beauty to them.
I think I'm dying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My grandfather used to have clocks. What's the matter? You all right there?
I was sneezing all morning, all of a sudden, but I was also have the fan. I can't tell if I'm either having a sinus thing or I'm dying. I guess tune in next week to see if it's a solo episode. Oh man, God!
We'll prop your body up in the chair and
like the old West, where you take a card, where you take a picture in sepia tone, and you pass it on generation and generation until that one great grandson has a meth addiction in Tampa, and he sells it for really cheap on eBay to someone like me, and then I flip it, and on your heritage, I make money.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Have you really done that? That sounded so specific. I feel like it's happened.
Oh, there's so much. My new thing is I buy things and I flip it and then pay for what I want with the flips, and like small. So like I want a watch, so I'll buy 3 of the watches and sell the other ones for double, whatever, and then I'll sell this one. It's all. I'm not out there making deals. I'm going crazy. I need to be. You meet a woman on the corner. You say, "How much for how many minutes?" And you're like, "In the car," and you.
You need some negotiations. Huh?
Yes. I'm having. Yeah. Yes, I'm feeling. Well, as we know, this. I've been saying this a lot lately. This town is so soft. I tell you what. When you thought I was bad before, once this is over. I mean, you show up wearing shorts to a dinner meeting with me, I'm not going to work with you. I'll just be honest. I went to this guy's. Okay, so we all know that Don doesn't wear shorts. The Don doesn't wear shorts, but that's kind of not true. But I had to go. What happens is when you see, I'm a man. I used to be a man, and then I met a lady, and now I'm part of a couple.
Yeah, that's what you're having. Yeah.
And that requires me to do. There's a lot of things I have to do that I don't want to do in relationships, and one of them is like small talk with other. Like, basically, I'm not that guy. I don't want to go to like your female friend's house, right? Basically, yeah. I have a mutual friend, and my lady happens to have mutual friends of my friends. So it's all, and the ladies, sewing circles, whatnot. That was God telling me. She's a fickle bitch. No offense to your father. Wouldn't that be funny? They're like,
well, so it's a little late for that, pal.
Yeah.
He's not watching. It's okay.
Yeah, no one's watching. So I got to go to one of these, dinners where I got to put on a sweater, right? Like Cosby out there.
You got like a smoking jacket you wear?
Of course. I have a smoking jacket. Oh, I forgot to wear what I was going to wear. I actually had a bit for you next time.
Oh, all right.
I had it for months. I keep forgetting. It's been 4 months now. I'm not even joking, but I got to bring it out. So I got invited over to I got to go to another man's domicile, right? So I got to shower. I got to put on, clothes, whatever. I put on, a respectable. Cover as a man, you cover as much as your body as possible for warrior's sake.
For warrior's sake.
Yeah, you never know when there's going to be combat, right? So I go over there, a guy's wearing like a t-shirt and short pants, and like not even like
not ready for combat.
Not even like I'm a Connecticut stockbroker guy, and it's the weekend, and it's hot and muggy, and I'm wearing like a Van Heusen short. We're talking about like a $6 short that you'd maybe buy at a Goodwill or a Target. So it's like an athletic short, but not like not one of substance or value.
It might have been a bathing suit in a former life.
Yeah, basically, I go over and this guy's in his underwear, right? And he's doing that dumb guy thing where he's doing like dick out, where he's like sitting up with his dick out. With short pants. I'm just like, does this guy?
No.
This is a dinner party. I came over here with my fine Swiss precision, and and I can see the bottom of your ball sticking out.
That's not cool.
See, but these are the men in LA. These are the men. Yeah. If you ever wear an Avengers t-shirt and $8 short pants to a dinner party in which you are throwing, and I brought a nice Beaujolais, right? And I don't want to stare at man's. He wasn't wearing shoes. Like what? Like where are you from? Like what's fucking what? I can't tell you that. Oh God, he's almost as bad as like a male improviser. You know what I mean? Like just really missing any sort of cleanliness, ability to dress like an adult man. Whatever. This is
dialing it in,
right? But I'm not wearing this to a dinner in which the women are gabbing about whatever, right? Feminism, whatever failed project they're working on, right? Temperance. I don't know. Bring it back. You ladies can sit around and.
You're like the angry version of Leave It to Beaver,
Fucking Wally. Well, who was that kid showing up all the time? That little bastard, that rodent faced kid. What was his name?
What was his name? Yeah, the bad kid, right?
Yeah, Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell.
That son of a bitch, Eddie Haskell. He never brought over milk from the milkman. He never showed up with something in hand, right?
You know,
but I'm at a dinner party.
Ward was such an even-tempered guy.
It's the pipe that makes you contemplative. You know, it's a beautiful moment. You study.
You think when like the cameras went off, he was out.
He's punching his wife like you wouldn't imagine. Like, I said, medium rare. It's beef. Yeah.
I think you'd make a good ward cleaver.
I tell you what, I'd make a good prison warden. That's it. And I make them knife fight like gladiators and bet on them with my other. You want a cigarette? Rip that man's jaw off.
Even when you're playing the good guy in the movies, it's going to still be the bad guy.
No, I'm definitely a heavy, and that's not a fat joke. Yeah. Let's be honest. I got to tell you, like, I'm so I love. Okay, Dollar Shave Club. There's your free. You didn't cast me, you son of a bitch. But they were fine. But like, I don't really want to. I could give a shit about. The more of these commercials I watch, the less I want to go out for them, unless they're real money. You know what I mean? Like, Flo, the progressive lady, is paying for a house if she's doing it right?
Yeah.
But these bullshit gigs and where you got to tape it at the house, I'm so over them.
What's the next thing?
The next project? What's
the next thing? I mean, you
what? My next project? Are we having a conversation?
How are you gonna get out of this? Cheesy commercial rut.
Well, the trick is not getting them so that people don't know that you're like. No, I mean, listen. Here's what I get cast as: cop, bodyguard, FBI, general asshole, Tuesday meetings. All of them. It's not my. Now, let the record show I've been shaving my head since 2006. Right? Like it's before it was cool.
As long as I've known you, you've been shaving.
All these Wall Street bankers are shaving their head now, thinking they're Jim Cramer. So who's my sort of guy? Mad money. I'm angry at the stocks.
Mad money.
Buy high, sell low. I don't, whatever. My sleeves are rolled up. I'm from New York. I have a goatee. Yeah. That's an interesting time. I've invested heavily in Chinese stocks. I don't know if that's. They've taken the money, but they won't send me the receipt. It's been like 6 months. No. I don't know what's happening.
Oh! You know what happened this week? I heard about the couch, the sofa,
the $4,000 yellow
$1,000 sofa. Yeah, they wrote me, and they said it's going to be late.
Yeah. You'll never see that again.
Yeah,
you'll never.
But they reached out. I didn't. I was.
Are you going to? How long is the next step?
Well, they said it's going to be like 8 weeks delayed, but it was already going to be months. So I mean, it's a couple more months.
Yeah, I would go ahead and wipe that down when it arrives. You're going to need several wipes to kill the germs. It's going to be a thing.
I hear they're getting back to work, right? They're not finding new cases anymore in China.
Yeah.
That's what I've.
I remember Pearl Harbor. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. All right.
Nope.
And I thought MASH took care of all this stuff for us.
That's not right. Nope. That's also wrong. No. That would be Japan and Korea, neither of which is the same as China.
I mean, I wouldn't put them in an order of the best race to the but
who's doing this? Who did that?
No, I mean, Japanese. Let's just say it. Let's just say what everyone's thinking. Because if you don't think that the Japanese are on the top of that list, then you've obviously, don't know. They've done it all for you. They got the bow. They got that going. They know how to make knives, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They make the world's second best watches through the branding, right?
Oh,
Swiss is number one, Japanese is number two. Because I mean, that's they're Japanese. They're basically the Swiss, but without the chocolate. They got rice, and they worked it out. Fantastic watches, by the way. Big fan.
Really?
Seiko.
Yeah.
Casio. Fantastic.
Wow.
What's his name wears a Casio watch? He wears the MDV-106A. That's, what's his name there? Bill Gates.
Oh.
He wears a $40 Casio watch.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah, he wore it at his last stockholder meeting, which is probably from his publicist. But yeah, he's wearing it's a wonderful product. It's a black.
Is it the one with the little calculator on the?
No, but those are cut. I can get you one of those. I got a Casio guy. Don't ask questions. But all of those retro watches are coming back, especially if when we were a kid, it was like boobs, or whatever, right?
Right.
But I can get you. You can get those now, and they come out. Yeah, they're
wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I would be interested in a watch with a calculator on the face again.
Yeah. Would you like a resin? Are you looking for more of a? Now they've come out with the stainless steel ones now. I mean, it's going to add some weight. It's going to add some grams, not in the good way where it goes up your sinus system. The actual, Yeah. Now you are not a watchman.
I'm not really a watchman. I haven't. I stopped wearing a watch even before cell phones.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know. I don't want to know what time it is.
I need to know what time it is. It's a thing. I'm obsessed with time and death. And that's why these podcasts are such a good use of our time, because life is so short. Where when we look back at the hours spent.
I look at the sun, I go outside and I say, it's.
What's the weather like in LA?
It's actually been nice for a couple of days. We've had some rain. We've had some sun. It's not bad. The air is really clear. It's kind of neat. So
if comedy and NASA science doesn't work out, I think maybe a small town meteorologist could be.
And over here we have a cold front moving in.
Due to global
warming.
You just drop it in. You're like, you see, density equals the mass of ice squared. It's very simple.
Well, you were close. You were on the right track, and then you just.
Well, I do it twice. You're supposed to. Density is mass divided by height. Dumbass, don't you? Let's get you one.
Yeah.
Let's get you a little digital watch. Oh, now, last week, I accidentally sent you the picture of my business checking account, which I don't know how it happened, because I was taking a picture. I sent you a picture. And when I looked, I had basically, I told you 2 hours before we talked that I had just taken a picture of my thing. I had just taken a picture of my checking account. So I do the taxes, all that, right?
Yeah.
And we moved on. And then I send you a picture, and I look down, and the picture is in the sent thing to you. And what I don't understand is that it was the fourth picture down. It wasn't the next picture. It wasn't like I hit the picture and I hit the other one next to it. Somehow it was down. So I don't know what happened, but I obviously was not trying to send that to you. Even though I told you about it.
It was fascinating. I was like,
random,
are you trying to intimidate me or what?
Power move, $700. But it was a moment of I'm glad I sent that. I mean, there's nothing in it, but I'm glad I sent it to you and not I don't know. I posted on Twitter this guy has $700 in his Bank of Boston's checking account. It was. I don't know how I sent it to you because it was down a row.
Yeah,
so it was very awkward because I felt. Because I just felt embarrassed because I just sent you basically. No, I don't care. I had told you. We share things, and I don't care. But it was just
we
weird.
talk.
I did not mean to send it to you, and I did not mean to accidentally send it to you. It wasn't like one of those subconscious things. I don't know how it got there, but when I saw it, I was like, and you can't delete it. Why can't you unsend a picture? There needs to be a way.
You can't unsend a picture
There
once
needs
it's
to be
sent.
a way. Because like all I need to do is, if the lady finds out about it, Tina, if I text, But it was and the moment, and I was on a Zoom call. I was trying to get you to join another Zoom call of a mutual friend of ours, right? And then somehow I said that I sent you my checking account balance, which I didn't mean to. Were you like
that I was tempted to join the Zoom call because of that, but
yeah, they didn't know. But I don't know how it happened. But were you like, why did he just like when you first saw it, could you tell it was a mistake? Or were you
actually, you know what? To be honest, like I had put my phone down and I walked away and I hadn't seen any messages. So the first message I saw was you saying to delete it.
Yeah,
that's how fast it happened,
Yeah, basically, if I send a picture and you don't read it yet, it would be nice if I could unsend it. Like, especially for like the nudes, right? If you're like a girl or something, you're like, oh no, I sent her a nip. I shouldn't have done that because I'm going to run for, I don't know, Congress or whatever in the future. But you should be able to delete it. Like,
yeah, I agree.
If you haven't read it,
that would be nice. It would be nice.
Accidental picture or accidental words, because you could do that. You could unsend emails sometimes now, like working it out.
Like
that'd be nice if I send that. You send the wrong text message to somebody, you should be able to do it.
Yeah,
but
that can cause.
Will you send me your checking account? Just your business one, so it doesn't matter. I don't need your personal one.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, go ahead and send it to Port Life Choices.
I'll put it over I'll put it out over the digital airwaves.
But when you saw it,
this is why you're not going to get a stimulus check. It's the government's they're reading your texts.
Let me tell you what. That other thing with the government that I got. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? Taken care of.
I remember that. Taken care of.
This guy did it without a lawyer.
You did a thing. Dude.
From that amount to nothing. It took me months. Taken care of. Thank God. Basically, for the people, I received a tax bill which couldn't possibly have made sense if you know my income. Like, it was, I would be paying 10 times what I made. Like, there's something was amok. And I had to spend the last, was it 4 or 5 months trying to get
it's been a while,
this tax bill that, but it all worked out. Because let's be honest, I'm a huge fan of the Illuminati, so I'm pro government, but I want to get big enough where I don't have to pay taxes, right? I want to get to that Jeff Bezos. Right?
You get rich enough, and then they just
then you don't have to pay, right? Because you're there. I think the Illuminati is a little bit like Mary Kay now. Where it's like
eventually you get high enough in the chain, you don't have to sell the Mary Kay anymore.
Yeah. You have enough people. What's great is I saw the interview with Mary Kay and they were like, it's a pyramid. They're like, it's not a pyramid. It's a chart in which people grow out. It's like, it's kind of.
It's more of a triangle.
It's kind of That thing on The Office was like that. And they were like, no, it's literally. But sorry for sending that. It was.
No, it was fine.
The only reason it didn't bother me is because I told you about it like an hour before that I just took a picture. So it wasn't like a weird thing, but I deleted it quick because I was kind of embarrassed. You saw it and I was a little embarrassed, as you know, that I eat bags of cereal with no milk, just dry handfuls, just dry.
Throw the box away, just the bag.
Yeah, I don't, and my upbringing was so rigid that I'm not allowed to have the marshmallows. I'm only allowed the actual oat in cereal. My mother would go through in Lucky Charms and just remove the marshmallows and remove that and just put in Raisin Bran.
She was always after your Lucky Charms.
She was. I would tell you, no, we weren't allowed to have fun.
Wow.
So we never got Lucky Charms. Let me tell you what, the day my mother brought Lucky Charms into the house is the day I knew the world was truly ending. You know, they're older, so they buy lots of high-grain cereals, in which, yeah. Grape
Fiber,
nuts.
lots of fiber. Yeah, grape nuts. You know, I kind of like grape nuts, I got to say.
I like them too, but they feel like a con, like, because they're so.
Yeah.
Now, I had to take earth science a couple, 2-3 times because I knew in my life that I will never use science. I knew from very early on, which is true to this day. So, you know,
it's not your path.
And God bless all you high school guidance counselors who, you know, eventually achieved being a high school guidance counselor to listen to their advice on what to do with my life. And everything that I said then is true to this day at my age now. I'm never going to do any of this stuff. I only care about this. So I'm going to get all A's in what I give a shit about, and I'm going to just barely pass the ones I don't care. And to this day, I have never, other than like planting a ficus, I've never used earth science or anything. And I still haven't learned it. Here we are 20 years later, but where you take stones, right, and then you fill it in. So that, what do you call it when you keep filling in smaller things, right? And they're like, oh, is this glass full? It's big stones. And then you keep putting the smaller in.
Right, then you keep putting,
with grape
adding
nuts.
it.
What is that? I still haven't learned it.
It's
Do you know, I don't mean to put you on the spot there, Nasty. I mean,
it's Archimedes principle. Is that what you're?
Okay, no, nice try. No.
Just the displacement of the volume and
but just to show you how much I don't care. This would be the first time in 25 years.
Yeah. Right. How much space is in? You know, there's a lot of space between your Cheerios.
You can fill up with grape nuts, right? So if you pour fill it up with grape nuts into Cheerios, it's going to, right? And this is important. I don't know. You know what they don't teach you in school? How to be an adult. How to like handle credit and pay bills and balance your checking account and But they'll teach you
economics.
They'll teach you about the War 1812 because those who forget history are doomed to repeat the Spanish flu, I guess. Hey, now I know we've been going for a while. I don't know, but is that time? I know you have another. Yeah,
I got a little thing, So
you want to start wrapping it up? Anything you want to say? You want to do a final thoughts? Like a
Well, this. Yeah, sure. This was fun. That was good. I'll do a final dance move. How about that?
I'm going to save this for later. Ladies, comment below. Look at that sexual prowess coming through in 720.
Yeah.
You look good, man. Yeah. Well, this has been another successful episode of Two Guys Talking, and we have been Two Guys Talking. Let's go ahead and give you first dibs.
Well, Josh Willis. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Josh K. Willis, or on Facebook as Climate Elvis.
You can find me at a Lowe's parking lot looking for work, or at Mr. Ryan Sturges, also known as the part-time Italian, also known as unemployable. What other? I'd like to give a shout out to my guidance counselor. You may have been right. You may have seen it. And too bad that leukemia has taken you. So, in that note, in closing, thank you for watching this. I don't know. Anything else? You done? We done here?
We're done here.